Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to Unwind Flow Yoga. I'm Amanda and I'll be guiding you through your practice today. Our practice today is a gentle practice incorporating some yin elements, but we're going to start off with a little bit of movement because it's designed to mix into the middle of the day or maybe towards the end of the day, anytime you need a little bit of a reset. Our class is inspired by a quote from spiritual teacher and author Ram Dass. And the quote is, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." And I'm going to bring us back to that quote as we go through our class today. It's definitely a come as you are practice, so even if you don't have a yoga mat, you can still do this practice. I will suggest though, if you have a blanket or a towel or even a sweater, to grab that to give yourself a little bit of extra cushion, and we'll have one option at the end where we'll use our prop as well. So for our practice, we're going to actually get started standing, as I'm imagining that you've been spending a lot of your day so far sitting. So this is where we're going to start with a little bit of our movement, and we're just going to start in Tadasana. So you can stand anywhere on your mat. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart, arms are by the sides. Have the gaze softly forward, don't need to focus on anything, just so you can keep it soft. We'll start to tune into our body awareness here by just noticing the contact of our feet on the floor, maybe even shifting the weight a little bit forward and back. Notice if you were maybe leaning a little bit forward when you came into Tadasana, or more to the right or more to the left, and start to tune into that awareness. See if you can find a point that's equal between front to back and right to left in the feet. And then from there, start to tune into the breath. Noticing here, as we start to align ourselves physically, the breath comes a little bit more easily. If possible, bring the breath into the nose and release the breath out through the nose. Notice how the shoulders are feeling. If you still feel a little bit hunched forward, can we take them back slightly, rotate the palms forward? Feel that gentle opening in the chest. In a moment, we'll start to add in our half sun salutations, still keeping the pace of your breath. So I'm going to set the pace here, but if you feel like you want to take a little bit slower or faster, that option is available to you, as we'll repeat a few rounds. So take another breath in. Exhale, release the breath out. On that next breath in, inhale, take the arms up. And then exhale and join the palms. If you like, soften the knees as you fold forward. Come into a forward fold, drop the head. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift halfway. Shoulders lift about hip height or higher. Exhale, lower down. On an inhale, press into the feet. Inhale to rise, lift yourself all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands by the sides. 2 more just like that. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, touch the palms, soft knees, fold forward. Drop the head. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Notice the strength of your legs. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Maybe look up. Exhale, release the hands by the sides. 1 more. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, lift yourself all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands by the sides. And we're going to continue a few more rounds, just adding in a little bit of an intention for our exhale here, really seeing if we can let go a little bit of the tension in the body. Take your inhale, look up. This time as you exhale, palms forward, feel like you're pressing something away as you soften the knees and fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. As you exhale, really feel like you're letting something go. Inhale to rise, lift yourself all the way back up. Exhale, same thing. Press the palms forward as you exhale, let it go, arms by the sides. 2 more. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, release something away from you. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, release, arms rise. Exhale, let it go. One more. Press something away from you as you exhale and fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Create new space here, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale, release that tension. Exhale, arms by the sides. Great work, everyone. We're just going to use one more half to come into hands and knees. Inhale, arms rise up. Really feel the freedom in your movement here as you fold forward. Let it go. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, release, fold forward. Just hang here for another moment. And then from here, soften the knees down towards the floor. This is where you can grab that extra cushion if you want to pad something underneath the knees, depending on your surface. Otherwise, we'll take it into a tabletop. So hips are over your knees, shoulders are over the wrists, and just start to move through some cat and cow breaths. So on an inhale, we'll drop the belly towards the mat, bring the chest through the arms and look up. Feel yourself arching the spine. And then on an exhale, press the mat away here around the spine. Look in between the knees, maybe even towards the navel. Take a couple more cycles just like this. Inhale and exhale. Continue to move here on your breath and notice if you can make your movement last as long as your breath. So as you inhale and come forward, your breath continues as you move and you don't stop moving until you're completely out of breath. And that might mean slowing down your articulation here. So really getting all that juiciness out of the exhale as you round the spine. Let's take 2 more cycles. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's come towards neutral and work into the upper body a little bit. So let's start with our left side. Inhale, extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Use the right hand to lengthen yourself a little bit longer. And then exhale, sweep the left arm underneath the right, just as far as you can reach over to your right. We're going to repeat that. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, sweep it under like you're reaching for something over to the right side of your mat. Last time, inhale. Exhale, reach as far as you can. And then you can't reach anymore here. Drop the left arm onto your mat, drop the left side of the head onto the floor and pause. Keep the hips reaching back behind you. And then you have the option with this right arm here. You can extend the right arm straight forward out towards the top of your mat. And then feel a little bit more of that length. Feel the space in between the shoulder blades and soften there. This is our first opportunity where we're coming to a little bit of a pause, a little bit of an opportunity for quiet. So I'll give you a moment just to see what you can notice about the sensations of this pose. And whatever came up for you, see if you can notice it without judgment. No right or wrong. Just notice what is. On that next breath in, right hand finds the floor once again. Take the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, left hand down. We'll repeat that on the right. So take a moment, just wiggle the hip side to side. And then on our right side, inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, we're going to sweep through. Right arm reaches over to your left. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Getting space into our thoracic spine here. Inhale, last time we reach up. And then exhale, weave it through. So reach all the way over to your left. Right side of the head comes down onto the floor. You can adjust yourself a little bit here, trying to find a position that works for you as you reach the hips back. Soften through your left arm. Maybe you reach the left fingertips forward. Once again, taking this opportunity to notice. Notice where you feel sensation. Notice if you're holding tension in any areas that aren't necessary for this pose. Can you let it go? On the next breath in, left hand to the mat. Press down to lift your right arm up. And then exhale, right hand finds the floor. Give yourself a little bit of a shake there. And then we'll come to sit down. Once again, this is where you can grab onto your blanket or towel here. If you like to prop the hips up in a seated position, we'll be here for a moment. So just find any comfortable seated position. The shoulders, a little bit of a roll here, and we'll do a stretch for our neck. And again, we're just gonna hold this one. So be mindful of your awareness here as we get into some of that tense tissue on the side of our neck. So from here, relax the shoulders, wiggle the elbows, and then take your left palm, reach it up towards the ceiling. From here, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder without forcing. Just allow gravity to drop. Soften your right shoulder. And then you can adjust the sensation of stretch by taking your left fingertips and rotating them out to the left. Right away, you might start to feel that little bit of tension. And notice how you meet it. That might mean backing off a little bit, reducing the rotation of your left arm. Notice if you're holding tension in the jaw, can you release it? Option 2, tip the chin towards the chest, changing the sensation a little bit. Notice how it feels to be quiet here for a moment. On that next breath in, slowly start to release. So release the left hand back down. Use the right fingertips to bring the head back through center and pause here. Notice the difference between right side and left side. Repeating that on the second side. So give the shoulders a shake, fresh start. Take your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Drop your left ear towards the left shoulder. Not forcing, just let the weight of gravity drop the head down. And then add to the stretch by taking the right fingertips out to the right. Notice if you feel like there's a little bit different range of motion side to side. Option 2, drop the chin down towards the chest. Staying with your breath here, notice yourself drawing the breath in and releasing the breath out. Take that next breath in, slowly release the right arm, take your left fingertips, bring your head back through center, take a moment to pause. Notice if the sides feel similar or different. Are you able to notice more sensations now than at the beginning of our class? Almost like you're widening your perspective or turning up the dial on your ability to notice. From here, we'll transition more towards the lower body. So I'm going to remove my prop, but keep it handy just in case you need it for our next pose. So we're going to start off with some windshield wipers of the legs. Take the heels out in front, bent knees, and just start to drop the knees from one side to the other. Starting off with sort of a smaller range of motion maybe, and then see if it gets a little bit larger as you shift side to side. Notice if you might like to widen the heels or bring them a little bit closer together. creating some space in our hip joint here that we'll use in a moment for our next little bit of stillness. Next, when we're over to the left, we'll pause there. So bring both legs over to the left side of your mat and create these two angles with the legs. So a 90-degree angle in both legs. This is where you can grab onto your prop. If the back hip is really high up, you can bring it under there. Or if this front knee is really high up, you can bring it underneath it so you have a little bit of cushion there. And then from here, we'll either stay upright or take it into a forward fold. So you can start to crawl the fingertips forward. And then if forward really isn't working for you today, experiment with an angle. So you can take the fingertips over to the side of that front foot or over to the bent knee. I often like the bent knee side, but as you come over onto an angle, feeling yourself maintaining the sense of dropping in the back hip. So finding balance through both legs. Almost like when we were in Tadasana at the beginning of our class, we really found that center position. See if you created a bit more space, somewhere where you can linger for just a few more seconds. Reconnecting to the breath. On that next breath in, slowly start to walk the hands in. And we'll bring that windshield vipering back in. So adjust yourself back through center and then slowly drop the knees side to side. Once again, bring your awareness to the difference in one hip or the other. Does one feel more spacious, larger, tenser? Without judgment, see if you can find any words to describe that experience. And then take yourself all the way over to your right, adjusting the legs here so you're creating those two 90-degree angles. Squaring off the chest towards the front of your mat, only if that works for you, finding this upright position. Using your prop once again under the back hip or the front knee. Giving yourself that extra little support so you can really drop into our forward fold. Taking the fingertips towards the top of your mat now. Or once again, finding that angle, whatever works for you. And allow it to be your own here. Allow it to make sense for your body, how you feel right now. Allow it to be an experience that allows you to feel a little bit of quiet. If it feels too intense, backing off. On that next breath in, slowly come back through center. Give the legs a little bit of that windshield wiper, side to side. And then a moment just to pause. Noticing if the legs feel a little bit different. Maybe the hips, maybe the abdomen, maybe even the upper body. From here, we're going to continue to bring that awareness to different areas of our body. We're going to start off in this Janu Tritasana shape. So we're going to target our side body as well as a little bit of a back bend. So I'm going to take my left leg out on an angle and my right knee is bent with the foot towards the inner thigh. On our inhale here, we're going to come into a side bend. So left hand will land on the left leg, take the right arm up and overhead and really feel the stretch on your right side. And then on an exhale, hand will come behind you. Press into the hand to lift hips up. Turn this into a back bend as we reach the left arm up and overhead. Use your inhale to make your way all the way back down and reach over the left leg. Repeating this. Exhale, hand behind you, hips lift. Inhale, lower down. Stretch over to the side. See if you can make your movement last as long as your breath. Exhale, come into back bend. Inhale, come into the side stretch. After this one, we'll take one more to each side. It's your last one. Inhale. And exhale, lower, pause. You can re-bend that extended leg. Just take a feeling moment here. A little bit of stillness after all that movement. And then we'll repeat on the second side. So extend the right leg out, left knee is bent. Taking this first one slow. Inhale, side stretch. Really feel the stretch to the left side waist. And then exhale, hand comes behind you. Press into the hand. Use the legs to come to your back bend here. Reach the right arm up and over. Inhale, lower down. Stretch over to the side. And then exhale, reach back. Continuing to flow on your breath here. Take as much time or as little time as you like, flowing through these two poses. But see if you can tie it to your breath. Take one more after this round. Our next pose here will be a still one. So we'll contrast this movement to our stillness. And then once the hips are back down, take a moment, pause. And then for this next one, we're going to come into a little bit of a twist. So come to lie down onto our left side here. You can use your cushion, once again, your blanket or towel underneath the elbow for a little bit of extra cushion. So I'm laying on my left side here. And first, I'm going to really focus on a little bit more of a side stretch here. So feeling this elongation on my left side all the way up into the armpit. And then take my right leg, extend it out as high as is comfortable for you. So maybe as high as the hip, maybe higher or lower, and see how much of the foot you can really get onto the floor without forcing. From there, option to stay, or you can take your right hand and reach for your left foot. So this is where the twist comes in. Take your right shoulder here. Can you drop it back behind you? Rotate the chest slightly up towards the ceiling. And then keeping all of this, if possible, letting go what you don't need as we drop in. So as I drop in here, I'm going to rest my left ear onto my left shoulder. Enjoying a little bit of a pause here. Once again, seeing what you can notice. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale, slowly come back up through center. Take your time to make your way out and pause. Notice where you feel different, right side and left side. And then we'll transition towards our right. So bending right elbow, coming onto the right side here, and just take a moment to feel, really drop into your right side to feel the elongation there. And then take your left leg, this top leg, out in front, and how high the leg goes is up to you, and how much of the foot you can get on the floor is up to you. We're not forcing it here. We might just get a little bit of a stretch in this outer line, which can feel nice. And then option, if you can, bend the back knee. So I'm reaching my left arm towards the right foot, allowing it to be heavy on the floor as I drop my left shoulder back behind me, rotate the chest slightly, and sort of use that as the extension of my pose before I really drop into it, letting go anything that I do not need. Quieter we come here. The more we can tune into, we can notice. Take another breath in. Exhale. And then inhale, let your pose go. Slowly make your way up into a seat just for a moment, taking this feeling moment here. And we're about to transition towards laying on the floor. So I'm going to use my towel here for a little bit of extra cushion. And then just come to lie down on your mat. Getting anything out of the way, hair out of the way, so you can really just lie flat. And from here, we're going to come into a supine moon shape. So keeping this side bend, but very gentle here. So I'm going to take my arms overhead, just drop them on the floor behind me, and then slowly start to arc my upper body over to the right, just a little bit, keeping head, neck, and shoulders and arms on the floor. And you can grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, just to create a little bit more space on the left. And then same thing with the legs. Legs shift slightly over to your right, and you can cross the left ankle over the right ankle. Remembering that we're not forcing anything, we're just finding a little bit of a hint of a stretch. What we want to focus on here is more of our stillness, our softening. Can you allow yourself to be here right now? Nowhere to go, nothing to be. Perhaps noticing as you're able to let go, without changing anything, you still feel a little bit more of that stretch. Enjoying that sense of lengthening, without forcing, without effort. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then inhale, slowly come back through center. Find center once again and pause. We'll repeat that on our left side. So take the arms up and overhead. Slowly crawl over to your left. Not needing to go very far. Maybe left hand grabs right wrist. And then slowly walk the legs over to the left side of your mat. Maybe right ankle crosses the left ankle. Take a moment to notice any new sensations on this side. And then start to reconnect to the breath. Notice yourself drawing the breath in and releasing the breath out. Notice yourself breathing here without effort, without forcing. Just this natural pattern and pace. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then slowly walk your way back through the center. Release the arms. And then for our Shavasana, I'll give an option here with our blanket, if you have one available. Just take one end and roll it up slightly, so you have about maybe an inch or two in diameter. And we're going to align this roll here just underneath our shoulder blades. So it's just the smallest little lift there. underneath our rib cage, and then you can take the arms out to the side in a T or in a cactus shape, depending on how much space you have. And once you've found that little bit of a lift, giving yourself a moment in silence here in Shavasana. Slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Start to bring movement back into fingers and toes. Circle wrists and ankles. Take an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, arms by the sides, bend the knees and roll over onto one side, being mindful of your prop. Slowly pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat just to end up our practice all together. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Join the palms together. Take a moment to extend gratitude to yourself for making it to your mat today, for taking this time to enjoy a little bit of stillness. Imprinting in your memory here what happens when you be quiet, when you notice the shifts you can create. I'd like to thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.